You're listening to Radio Long Island City, recorded at our studios near Hell Gate, 9 kilometers north of the Harbor Hill Moraine. And now, the Observatory. The Observatory, Wednesday the 14th of May, 2025. It is 55 days after the spring equinox. It is 37 days before the summer solstice. By the French Republican calendar, it is the 25th day of Floréal, the day of the carp. The sun rises today at 5:39 a.m. Solar noon takes place today at 12:52 p.m. The sun sets today at 8:05 p.m. Civil twilight ends at 8:37 p.m. and nautical twilight ends at 9:15 p.m. The length of daytime today is 1 minute 57 seconds longer than yesterday. The moon is in its waning gibbous phase and is 96% full at midday. The last quarter will arrive on Tuesday, the 20th of May. These are the predicted tides today for Horns Hook. In the morning, low tide, 6:03 a.m., 6 centimeters. Near midday, high tide, 12:21 p.m., 1 meter 40. In the evening, low tide, 6:10 p.m., 30 centimeters. In our shared realm of plants and animals, on Vernon Boulevard, nestled in the trees and shrubs at the margins of Socrates Sculpture Park, there is a single fine example of a Eurasian smoke tree, Cotinus cogigria. Its perfectly oval leaves are green, strongly tinged with purple, but the features that earn it its name are its open stalks of tiny flowers. These have hairs that make the tree look like it is surrounded by small puffs of smoke. Commemorations. On this day in 1796, an English country doctor named Edward Jenner delivered jabs of his new cowpox-based vaccine for smallpox in Barclay, Gloucestershire. It was the beginning of the end for that terrible disease. On this day in 1800, the United States Congress wrapped up its business for the season. The very next day, the federal government began packing its things to move from Philadelphia to the new capital of Washington, D.C. On this day in 1853, Gale Borden patented his process for producing condensed milk. Borden was one of those striking 19th century characters who had a hand in everything. A land surveyor and newspaper publisher who also tried his hand at politics, he was an eager inventor. Gale Borden was the first person to develop a successful commercial method for condensing milk, which assured a safe supply before refrigeration was available. He remains famous among food safety experts for his pioneering work establishing cleanliness practices in his factories. On this day in 1879, the ship Leonidas delivered the first group of 463 Indian indentured laborers to the island of Fiji. The Indian diaspora that took place under the British Empire has shaped many countries around the globe. On this day in 1932, a parade was held in New York City against prohibition. With signs that read, "We want beer," 100,000 people marched down Fifth Avenue. Commenting on the puritanical nature of the 18th Amendment prohibiting alcohol, other marchers held signs that read, "We prefer brewers of beer to brewers of bigotry." Mayor Jimmy Walker, a longtime Prohibition opponent, helped organize the parade. Prohibition would soon be history. On this day in the year 1948, the State of Israel was declared in the former British Mandate of Palestine. On this day in 1955, the Warsaw Pact was signed by the Soviet Union, Albania, Bulgaria, Czechoslovakia, East Germany, Hungary, Poland, and Romania. The military alliance of Soviet client states lasted until the end of communism. And on this day in 1973, Skylab was launched. It was the United States' first space station. And that is the Observatory, Wednesday the 14th of May, 2025.